Hey everyone, welcome back to Aramden. In today's video, I am going to show you how to structure your project, including folder, file, and code in a way that clean, scalable, and easy to understand. That is not tied to any specific language. Whenever you are coding in JavaScript, Python, Rust, Java, or Go, that principle will be help you to stay organized and professional. If you find this kind of content helpful and you want to support my work, you can buy me a coffee using the link in description. Also, we got a friendly Discord community where we are talking about the code, project, and help each other grow. You are invited. The link in below. Let's dive into how to structure your project like a pro. Now before we jump into actual folder and file structure example, let's take a moment to understand why does project structure even matter. A well-organized project is not just looking a nice, it actually solves real problem for you and your team. First, please make your code base easier to understand, especially when you are and someone else revisiting the project months later. Second, is improve collaboration because everyone know exactly where to find things like service, route, module, and utility, and etc. Third, it helps you to avoid spaghetti code by ensuring separation of content, keeping business logic, utils, modules, and APIs neatly separated. And finally, scale well whenever your project is small today or become hard to run. A clear structure helps it grow without turning into mess. So, even you are solo developer today, organize your project professionally, save your save you from the headache later. Alright, what in the mind? Let's look at how you can structure your project, file, and code in the right way. Not matter what language are you using. So now let's dive into how to structure your project like a pro. Okay. No matter which language are you using, I am showing you the universal project structure. Okay. Let I go to open up project and show you how it works. No matter which language. This is one of my project music backend system. Sorry, I want this. Okay. Because this project is a big and well organized. So let's open in VS Code in a browser. I'm not opening in my VS Code because I lost everything. I reset up my folder structure and everything. Reset up my full laptop. Okay. In Rust, whenever creating a new project, it look like this. It have cargo.toml file, git.ignore file, src folder. Okay. These three men it's when I'm creating a Rust project. But in other language, whenever creating any type of folder structure, make sure you are working a structural folder. What I am showing now. When I open this, you can see my database folder. So now you know everything about what I am writing. Any query related to the my database is everything in only in one this folder. Now util folder, you know what I need to use like a password encoder, token generator, everything like this is always set in my util folder. Okay. In handler folder, everything is API related, anything endpoints is always saved in this folder. Okay. It helps to make your folder structure and file your order. Okay. It really need to rechange the name middleware, but I am not the writer. I am writer or that is my mistake. I know. Okay. Now is a file. In config.rs file, only configuration for file. It have only configuration code. The file name also related to your project. So everyone who come to your project, the next to see your project and learn something from your project, he don't ask to anyone, don't ask to AI also. So which part of the project, so which code of the project is where in the code. If you are writing like this with a file name properly, you everyone know, yeah, this is the file of the config. I want a configuration like with database you are come. I need to go the config file. Yeah, because it's there. This is configuration. It had only a one file, not anywhere else. Okay, and you know about details. Details mean actually I forget. Let's show details full form. Data transfer object. Okay, it means any data ground from the API in a JSON format. And that is if you are for example, if you are using a register endpoint. Okay. In the register endpoint, you are structure data like a username, email, password, and even also password confirm. That come in detail. Okay, it always go first here in user folder. No, in our folder, in our file is the endpoint of the register. And here is the body. That format in JSON. And I am using a register details. This is a register detail. Okay. Now anyone requires my endpoint is always first check. The register always first check the detail is completing with it or not. Is have username, email, password, or even password confirmed. Because all thing is required. I am not using anywhere is optional. Okay. It means everything is required. Whenever I am want to optional, you can see in the down somewhere is optional. This is optional size. It means this is not required in request query detail. Okay. It only want optional. It is come or not come with the request. It not matter. But here in register user detail, username is required, email is required, password and the password confirm are also required. Okay, that is the detail. And even if you see the error folder, error file, you know the everything about error handling are written in this one file. Okay. This is explanation, max password size, empty password. If you are waiting a DTO with empty password, if we return this file, wrong cadence, email already given. If you have to go in the handler, okay, the password has complete. And even if you have filed the database, if written the some error or success message. If written success message, register it successfully, you can see, okay. If written any error, this error for I am checking the unique control means it already exists in the database. Unique violation. Okay, it means already there in the database or not is checked. Okay. If have email is already in the database, then it will return this error from here. Okay, I am not writing this thing anywhere else. I am writing only one and using this everywhere. Okay, even error have this has to be met. Okay. Whenever I want to return from the register to any error, I am just calling this HTTP error. I structure here message and data. It will only return message and data because it know what you want to return. Okay, that helps you to make code clean and everything organized. Okay. Now you can see models. You know every models are here, not anywhere else. This is a small project. It not have many models. It have 4 or 5 models. That's why I'm using it for in a one part. But whenever you have big project, it not only 5 to 3 tables in a database. Always models means in a database user in database. Like you can see a migration table. You can see in the user database and in models you can see this is the model. User ID, username, email, password has been created, updated, everything is in here query. Okay? Here query. That means it knows. That means it knows the model is the related to your database table. Sometimes you need to create your own model that not in the database. You can free to create it and use in your queries. Like in my DB, I don't know here or not, is somewhere I'm using. Like I want to return some data from here, but I want to select like this. Okay, but track detail. It's not this model, where is the model? So let's see where the model come. Sorry, by mistake. It's from details. Okay, this model is not. This is also model, but this is not your model. Like this, here is the model, here is the model. But it's not a database query because it's a mixture of 2 or 3 tables. You can see here. You can see here. This is a mixture of 2 or 3 tables like track, user favorite, playlist, history. Okay, please checking in tree. Then it give us some specific value. What I want to return to the user. It means front end. Okay. Now you know how you can structure your folder and even a file. That help you. How do you organizing your folder structure and file and everything? It helps not only you, it's someone else. You think about it like you make some project. Okay. Then you can live your project in GitHub and anywhere else. And sometime after someone is coming to your project and see your project, how you that one know which file what doing, which folder have which type of service, which type of business logic. Okay, it have route, it have anything else, everything, but history your folder. So you know. Here is the database. Here is a handler. Means is everything handling endpoint. Here utility is handle a password and anything else like token generation anything. His configuration file. He know how here he only have the configuration file. Okay. It have not only you. It has other developers who's seeing your project, who visiting your project. and learn from the your project that has not only you, everyone. I am showing you Rust project, but if you are working a JavaScript or a Go or Java and anything else, you can structure a folder like this. If you are using a Spring Boot, if you go to any YouTube, you can find the Spring Boot data folder structure and anything else. You can see there is so many things, so many videos that know you how to structure your project. Not even Java, even everyone. You can, this is the universal projects also that most of the developers are using because they want to clean and scalable their project. If you are thinking, why I need to scale? Because my project is a small, but you don't know. You are working today in some project. After some time, your project may popular. Now you think my project is a problem. Now I need to grow my project. I need to scale my project because my project is popular. Day by day is increasing our viewership and anything else. That time you see your project code and you think I need to clean and organize now the project. It takes you some more time. It takes you more time to make the project to cleanable and structure. It means I want to say only one thing. Whenever starting any project or anything else, you just keep your project start with a cleanable and folder structure and file structure like this. Not even like my method. You can find a YouTube and on a Medium and blog how to structure your project that can help you to structure your project in any language in the universe. So it helps whenever you think your project is not structured and you're going to structure after probability. It makes you take some more time to your structure your project. If even you sometime you need to start from your project to a new project from a starting to cleanable code, cleanable structure, cleanable file folder, everything. But you are from starting. You write everything cleanable. Then after grow your project and scalable, you don't need to write anything again. You just improve your project performance and add a new feature to your project and everything. It helps not only you, also is helps the user who using your project. It have a smoother experience with your project and it like your project to and share with the other ones. Then you grow your project professionally. Okay. Now it's time to understand how to structure your code even if you're starting your project. Okay, let's understand that. Now let's talk about some cleanable code. Now let's talk about some cleanable code. Okay. What is a cleanable code and what the matter why it's cleaning your code? Okay. First, whenever you are starting a new project, first thing about a code. Like me, this is my configuration file. You know, this is a cleanable folder. Is a cleanable code. You know everything. It is structure of config. It have a database URL, JW secret, JWT message, and port number. Okay. This is you know about whenever I want a configuration, I just want to use this everywhere. It give me a my env names, my env data. Okay. Now let's go and one of the folder with all. I am starting with here and I show you from import. No matter in which language are you importing everything. Okay. Like a Java, you don't know to see the anything about import. Okay. And any folder structure, you can see if you see any import thing, hmm, you can like space for like this. I am using like use STT in Rust. Use means import the file. STT is a sender file in Rust. Async arg. Okay. It and then I got a space because this is the library that come with whenever you are installing any Rust project. It comes with it. It means whenever you are creating any Rust project, it comes with it not to define in a component file any dependency. You need to install it. It comes and the middle you are writing like this. It's always uh, you are installing dependency. You are installing library. Okay. Extra and search. I am installed from using communal file. Like here you can see this component have search and exam. It means if I need to this library for my this project, I need to install this. Okay. It always come in the middle. Then I give us some space and use and I import some files and the structure and the struct from my own code base. Here you can see a database user exit. This is a come from the here. This is a user. This user exit is come from here in database. Okay, error handling is come from error file, models, you know where it come models, utils token, utils have a token, abstract, in the main file, you can go in the main.rs file, it have some abstract is a globally available in the full folder. Okay, it importing from here. It means now you can see and you can understand use create and this is the last auto import everything come from it in the folder this from this only project no external library no external anything okay and this in the middle of the import is always come from external library external import and everything and this for on first import is always come from the pre-installed library with when you are creating a new project. Okay. After it, I search in my project JWT or middleware. Now you can know what the JWT or middleware is auth folder. It means the folder of middleware. It means auth function of middleware is it creating token, taking token and jar from everything creating and user finding or returning and some error if everything is wrong. Okay, I am create this one project and use it everywhere. Okay, in Rust, you ever see what about this mod or mod? Okay, it means you need to global your project or structure in the full project. It means whenever using a or file. Okay, this is our file my and I am using here mod auth. It means now my this auth file I am using is anywhere in my project. But when I am commenting, now I go to in any folder, any file where I am using it. It show me error. Like here I am using this auth. It show me error. There is a no auth file. In Rust, you need to define your project where you are using anything. Okay. Now, if you see in any folder are you creating in Rust, there is a mod.rf file. This is export your in the folder is have file. The mod.rf file is export in the project. But your mod dot you need to define mod.database in a main.rs file. It means your all file is can be used by any other file. Without it, you never used by any other file. Okay, that helps you to grow your product. In Rust, you need to understand this more clearly. Now you can see here is the sum of the code is well organized, and you think about the why I am writing like this error message. Error message. Here is the error message. Why I'm writing like this? I need to directly define where I want to use thread method. Okay, because I don't want to write. You can see like this wrong credential. Not only where there is a three time I am using this wrong credential. Okay, email address I am using everywhere. Only one where username exists. User no longer exists. I am using only one where two times. Empty password. How many times I am using? This two times. That means I am not writing password cannot be empty. Invalid username or invalid password combination. Okay. It's again and again to everywhere. I am writing this only a one time in a one place. I am using this. It means if I want to after some time I want to change this message. I know I don't want to go to everywhere in the file where I am using this. I am just change here only one place and it change everywhere. That's simple. That's why everyone say you always write a reusable code. And you know about the React. This is a perfect example. React, the reusable everything. You write any UI component, anything in a one place, in a one folder and one file, in one function, and you are using it, that function again and again everywhere without writing the same code to everywhere. It means it's the same. This is a reusable function, reusable code. I am using this error message column, column and email exit. It means this message already come there. I don't want to write it again and again. Okay, that helps you to easy and maintain and cleanable code. It is cleanable code. I just change here. It will change everywhere where I am using the folder and structure. It easy and maintainable for you all things. Now I am writing a server error. Okay, you can see in my some place. This is HTTP response here. Okay, unstructured, unauthorized error. You can see here the error message token not provided. The message is always written unauthorized message, unauthorized message. Okay. Now let's go in any another folder, any like text history. Now go to history. You can see, sorry, it's socket playlist handler. Here is the HTTP response. Now you can see HTTP bad request, HTTP bad request, server error, everything. I'm just defining here. I'm just defining here server error. I'm not defining here the what actually SS code want to return from here. I am defining here only a message. What matter I want to show to front end, not even serial code. I am defining serial code only one place. It will automatically send the serial code everywhere. You can understand what I want to say. Okay. Now here you can see actually bad request. Bad request what play ID and track ID are required. This is the bad request. And when you can see everything server error, I am using always the created function. If that I want to send us some message with some underscore error, which is not defined here in the unique construction violation in unauthorized. Okay. Now that means I want to use new because I am using a new method that not defined in HTTP already. Then I'm set with a message and address code. Let's find HTTP new. Okay. Let's find here in globally, right? HTTP error that is new here in the program. I am using invalid string with a some code of unauthorized. It means I want to use here. I want to use only unauthorized method. Sorry, unauthorized method because the data code is the same. But I forget to here use that. That was my mistake. I show you everything. You can use this. How can you use everything? Okay. This is help not even only you. Whenever you're working a team or a single person as you, it helps you also organize and cleanable your code. Not even on DB file. You can show a DB file. This is simple. It's a DB pool. I'm creating here a DB client that a pool the connection between our project, our backend, and the database. DB client work only for that. And the config, you know the error, you know the model and the route. I'm creating route file differently because here you can see I am using a max file size and size. Actually, this comes from the your env file, but I am using here. I am actually using here. Actually, it's come from the config and the env file, and inside it like this. Default body limit means any you are uploading the file or any body like just an format. It always maximum size of the body is the 5 MB. Okay. If the body limit is not like you this before the body limit is equal to 6 MB. Okay. It's not like this. It less than 6 MB. It means it want a 5 MB. It means I am saying here 5 MB in byte. Okay. It written code like this. What I am defining here max file size. It means now it only is taking out 5 MB. In the by default it's not equal. It is the max size. The max size. Okay. In here 6 into 1024 into 1024 it means it take 6 MB. Okay. And you can see here I'm using a nested layer get because when you see a get file it already have this endpoint. It means whenever I'm using a route like this get slash get, okay, when I'm using in a front end route like my URL like a localhost 8000 slash API because I am using in an office you can see the slash API. You can get slash get and you can write any route like this incomplete get break incomplete and file name get is a method. Okay, this helps you to organize your code more smoothly. And you can see your come here. Sorry, in handler. Always try to put your code as simple as it is. Not make hard. It's easiest to understand not only for you, to everyone. Anyone who are working with your project and anyone use your project for his future, it help them also. That help to everyone. Like like this. If we are using API anyone, I'm searching for it. API using anyone like favorite handler. Okay. Yes, here is a slash favorite handler. In in local host, HTTP local host 8000 slash API slash favorite. Okay. Now you can go to indexed favorite. You can see every route endpoint as only a slash. It means slash favorite is the last endpoint after pairing out. There is only a method with a post. It means every time if you're using slash favorite with a post is only go in the post method. If you are using method get from frontend you can send slash API slash favorite delete method. It always go into delete method. If you are getting API slash favorite get, it's always in a get method. It means you also using any API route. Always use if a single route, single thing, not want any extra sort thing. Use always stuff like this. Post, delete, get. It help you to get anything. Also, you have a different front-end developer. If you are working, it's also a same URL and this matter is different. It also making the in front-end also a same code that's a function with a code. If it is reusable, you need to just change its method. Okay? That it is you know how to you can structure your code. That's for today. But not it not help only for a one user, not help only for a Rust based code. As for you, here is my Python code. I am also right here is my Python code. Let's open it in this coding browser. This is multi-camera face tracker system. If you see here, this assets folder, you know the everything about the image, audio, and anything. It's always be in assets folder. Okay. Now we are config. You now not about any configuration. It's always been in config folder. It's a code. Any code related code like any system in the background need to run. If everything is here in UI folder, you not every UI related component only in a UI folder. Okay, it's a main file here it need to run and here is what I'm doing here. RMDev hub and everything. This is an important import. Like you can see, this is the import from a library, everything, and this is the import from this UI main file. Here is the UI in UI. You can see there is a main window for file. This is the same function, same method. I'm using. There is the same method, same structure where I'm using in Rust and a Python. You can same structure in any language you want, like Go, Java, JavaScript, anything. This is a Python. You can see everything is same. I define separately everything. Now you can go to in folder. This is alert panel. It have class. Okay. This is OPB and it is class I would define initial UI, what your initial UI, the alert matter and every function have a differently work and different thing. It has the the contributor. I am also see here the contributor. It has the all contributor to understand what it is and what they need to set up. Also, even you are launching your project as open source and anything else, you definitely need to uh, readme file. This is readme file. You are using this readme file. It means you are telling the people the first read this file, then go to my project. If the people read the file, they need to have what is the project and what project are including and what requires this project, how to set up this project step by step. You know everything now. And what configuration file is not including project, but you need to configure this. It's a how you can configure. This is the complete. Their camera got cameras underscore config.yaml file. It's not including here, but I am showing here. It means the people are who reading my readme file, then you go and create a complete camera config.yaml file and write code like this. Here I also use a command and show them what they need to do. Okay, here is the config file. Here I am also they are talking about how to set up their Telegram board, how to learn. It is my about you know about this is the wiki here you know about everything about my this project. Also you can ask this AI about something about this project, how it work. Now we say about the how it work is so you can see it is scanning the my every project and file. So we can explain you multi-camera face filter, how will camera module work, how is file work, how will file details and how other system work. This AI help you also to make your project and contribute anything. Okay. Also it give you how they are working. You can ask this person how here it work and anything else. This is everything with how the my project structure work and here is how the main file, how it's calling the different file and different UI interface, how it's working the each interface, everything about the my disk folder, my disk file, my disk project, everything you know about. Your manual setup, file manager, editing, how the you can add the person name, file, person image, having how it go to alert to you, anything about it. If you are using a CPU or if you are using a GPU, I give everything here. It means to anyone who is personally not to message me. Bro, how can I set up your project in my own machine, own system? He just needs to read this file and he can set up that project in their own system in their own file. If have any issue about the reading the file, if have any issue about the understanding the code, he can message me. I can explain him because this help to not only you. Like this project, you can see the anyone who helping you, working with you, who's in your team, not in your team, is come from another place and asking you to you show you his project. Can you explain me this? Why? You can explain it. But you can, if you say, bro, I need to your project is set up in my project. How can I set up? There is a nothing to you say about the how you can set up, how it works, how any documentation of it. This is documentation. And this is the documentation is generated by AI DBT. You can see here. This have not only one, it have many projects, many about here. You can also add your own project, your own file. This is not a promotion video about it. I am just using it and I'm showing you how you can organize projects. If you don't, you have to lazy like me to write a documentation. This AI is help you. It takes some time. It reads your full code, everything. Then it creates your project document like this. Even you can also leave research enable. I don't know why. Yeah, it's enable. Sorry, it's enable for you, and you can search in anything. Okay. Now that it's a complete hour about the folder structure, file and scalable system. What I'm explaining you, you know about the. My final thought is anything about you. You, you can using you can creating any project, anything. Just clean up your project structure and everything. Now you can understand what I want to say. Okay, let's see you in next video and find everything is help you to find. I hope you can understand what I want to say you, what I want to show you, how to structure your project, how to you organize your code, how to cleanable your code, how to share your code. Okay. Thanks for watching. And that is, now you know how to properly structure your project, folder, file, and code, no matter what language are you using. Keep your project organized in the first step toward writing a clean, maintainable code. And here it helps a lot of when working in a team or returning your project later. If you learn something new today, make sure you like the video, subscribe to Aram DevOps, and share it with other developers. Want to discuss more about coding and project organization? Come hang out in our Discord community. The link in the description. And if you would like to support what I am doing, feel free to buy me a coffee. It means a lot and help me to keep making video like this. Thanks for watching and as always, happy coding.